Hello and welcome dear viewers. You're still watching us on ERi-TV, presenting you the domestic and international news prepared for this session, live from our headquarters of Asmara, Izmir, Hermela Girmay. Inviting you to join us on our tonight's news broadcast. Let's start with the major headlines. Minister Usman Saleh addresses 58th session of Human Rights Council. Congress of Teachers Association in the Northern Red Sea region. South Sudan closes schools after students collapse due to extreme heat. And Libyan Somali leaders discuss cooperation on investment education. On our detailed domestic news, Mr. Usman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs, virtually addressed the high-level segment of the 58th session of the Human Rights Council, which convened from 24th to 26 February in Geneva, Switzerland. In his address, Minister Usman stated that the session is taking place amid immense global challenges, conflicts ravaging nations, humanitarian crises tearing apart communities, and an international order that, with alarming frequency, falters in the face of decisive action. At this critical juncture, he emphasized the need to reflect on the role of the Council and its capacity to address the profound issues facing humanity. Noting that the Council should be a champion for peace, justice, and human dignity, as well as a forum for genuine dialogue and meaningful resolutions, Mr. Usman pointed out that its history unfortunately bears testimony to a tendency for apportioning blame rather than fostering a spirit of concord. Minister Usman further stated that for no less than 13 successive years, Eritrea has been subjected to deliberate and unwarranted vilification within this council, targeted at the behest of certain powers. He asserted that the relentless and indiscreet mandates imposed on Eritrea are not driven by a genuine aspiration to safeguard human dignity, but rather serve as instrument of coercion aimed at tarnishing Eritrea's image, encroaching upon its sovereignty, and exerting undue geopolitical pressure. He stressed that the authors of these resolutions remain unchanged, their tactics unaltered, revealing an interchanged pattern of partiality and duplicity that contradicts the lofty ideals this institution purports to uphold. These punitive measures, lacking legitimacy and contradicting the fundamental principles of international law, are designed to weaken independent nations, erode economic sovereignty, and hinder their developmental aspirations. Contrary to the false narratives that attempt to portray Eritrea as an isolated country, Minister Usman affirmed that Eritrea is playing a modest yet principled role in global affairs. Through sports, arts, and heritage, Eritrea continues to enrich the global cultural landscape, promoting unity in diversity and mutual respect among nations. Minister Usman underscored that Eritrea remains deeply committed to building a prosperous, self-reliant nation where every citizen enjoys access to education, health care, and housing across the country. Eritrea is steadfast in strengthening its institutions and fostering long-term alliances with nations that share its values of peace, justice, and mutual development. Concluding his remarks, Minister Usman reaffirmed Eritrea's resolute conviction and dedication to constructive engagement with the Council. He emphasized that Eritrea remains fully prepared to contribute earnestly in the spirit of collective endeavor and to work continuously towards the exalted ideals of peace, justice, and human dignity. In other news, the Teachers Association branch in the Northern Red Sea region conducted its 8th Congress on 23rd February in the port city of Massawa. Mr. Usman Saleh, chairman of the association's regional branch, presented the annual activity report highlighting achievements registered and challenges encountered. According to the report, the association disbursed over 1.5 million NAGFA in support of its members and, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, organized capacity building training programs. Emphasizing the importance of raising awareness and understanding among members regarding the objectives and mission of the association, Mr. Simon Mahari, chairman of the Eritrean Teachers Association, called for increased participation from all members in the implementation of the association's programs. The participants, on their part, called for the expansion of the association to remote areas, the continuation of training programs and sustainable awareness-raising initiatives aimed at enhancing members' understanding of the association. The Teachers Association branch in the Northern Red Sea region currently has over 3,000 members. In other news, elections for area administrators, managing directors, and village coordinators were conducted in 10 administrative areas of the southern Donkalia subzone, Southern Red Sea region from 13th to 23rd February. Mr. Ibrahim Noor, managing director of the subzone, stated that 111 people, including 37 women, were elected as area administrators, managing directors, and village coordinators. He highlighted that awareness-raising activities conducted prior to the elections played a significant role in ensuring a successful electoral process. He also commended the strong participation of residents and urged the newly elected officials to serve the people with dedication. The newly elected officials, in turn, expressed their commitment to fulfilling their responsibilities with diligence, honoring the trust placed in them by the community. Similarly, elections for area administrators, managing directors, and village coordinators in the Hagga subzone commenced on 30th January and concluded on 18th February. Mr. Idris Mohammed, administrator of the subzone, reported that the elections were conducted in 14 sub-administrative areas. As a result, 14 area administrators, including 1 woman, 14 managing directors, including 13 women, and 67 village coordinators, including 24 women, were elected. Mr. Idris also called on the newly elected officials to diligently serve the people who entrusted them with these responsibilities. Dear viewers, do stay tuned for our international news right after the short break. Welcome back. South Sudan closed all schools for 2 weeks due to an extreme heat wave that has caused some students to collapse. The temperatures were expected to rise as high as 42 degrees Celsius and stated that the victims are mostly children and aged people. This is the second time the country, which faces extreme effects from climate change, including flooding during the rainy season, has closed schools during a heat wave in February and March. The temperatures were expected to rise as high as 42 degrees Celsius and stated that the victims are merely children and aged people. On our final international news, President of the Libyan Presidency Council, Mohamed Monfi, and Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud attend a press conference in Tripoli on February 24, 2025. President of the Libyan Presidency Council, Mohamed Monfi, emphasized the importance of Libya-Somali cooperation during the press conference following talks with visiting Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud. The two countries signed several cooperation memoranda covering investment, training, security, education, and other sectors. Meanwhile, the two nations stated that they will work seriously on implementation of the deal. Moreover, they underscored to work together to secure both nations' sovereignty and unity, mentioning the historic relations between the two nations, pledging Somalia's support for Libya. Both nations announced that they will pick up a selected committee to follow up the development of the agreement. Dear viewers, we are done with the news prepared for this session, and now a quick recap of the major headlines. Minister Usman Saleh addresses 58th session of Human Rights Council. Congress of Teachers Association in the Northern Red Sea region. South Sudan closes schools after students collapse due to extreme heat. and Libyan Somali leaders discuss cooperation on investment education. Dear viewers, that was all for tonight. Thank you for joining us and have a blessed one.